haven't made one of these discussion videos in like a month, but I figured I'd go ahead and make another one because every single time there's a Dead by Daylight event, I always like talking about it. And I'm just gonna come out and say this might be the worst anniversary event we've had so far. I know in prior years it has been kind of bad. When Nemesis came out, for those that don't remember, he literally just crashed console lobbies. If you loaded onto anything that was Resident Evil related, your game would just straight up crash. I understand that if you are a console player was much worse. I am not, so I'm kind of ignoring that. But I generally think this might be the worst anniversary that I've played during, because for the 4th year anniversary, that was my first one, so I was a bit blinded by being new to the game. The 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th years were kind of just better. Because if we go through the years that I played, I'm ignoring the ones before that because I don't have personal experience with those, but like 4th year was Silent Hill, really huge, first gaming license ever. That anniversary didn't really have many issues. I think they actually extended it because of something, but I don't fully remember. Nemesis had the console crashing issue, which was big for if you were on console. I'm not. So that was kind of just a good update, but it did bring RPD, which was bad. Dredge was our first ever monster design, at least that was like a Dredge, so that was just pure awesomeness. I don't care what anyone says, that was a great anniversary. Next year we had Singularity, which was a bit like lackluster, especially because we were still in the 3-gen meta at that time, and then Made for This just came out, so that was kind of shitty. That was more about outside environments than the anniversary itself. I think for like 3 of these years, the cakes were bugged, so they either fixed it and then gave bonus BP or extended the event by a bit. The D&D anniversary was kind of just okay. I don't really remember it being like anything special, and I don't really remember it being bad either, just kind of existing. I think the remote hooking was introduced at that time, and that was a bit of a controversial idea. But then this year we have Five Nights at Freddy's, which is by far the biggest licensed chapter to ever come out, but compared to previous years, every single killer is bugged. In D&D, it was like a fair bit of them were bugged. During Singularity, it's like some of them were bugged, at least at Majorly. This year, like every single range killer just doesn't have their power work 30% of the time, like it just gets denied. Every single other killer, if you play them, like Nurse just randomly doesn't blink, Ghoul shifts off to the side randomly. Springtrap had bugs that got patched the day of the anniversary, so he's kind of fine. Dracula's wolf form sometimes just doesn't work. Houndmaster is Houndmaster. I'm pretty sure Trapper just sometimes randomly doesn't get haste from his traps, so not even like the OG 3 are safe. But there's just a lot of random stuff that's really annoying. But that's not even about the event itself, that's just normal DBD, as anyone could tell you. So we're gonna start off with the minor complaints and then go into the major complaints. And keep in mind, a lot of these are going to just be personal taste, especially when I talk about the event though. But for starters, it was confirmed today that the FNAF lobby is not a bug. They are just keeping the FNAF lobby now. They decided last minute, even after they decide to make a new Masquerade event lobby, that they're going to keep the FNAF one. Now, the only reason I could foresee them doing this is because they have a lot of FNAF people coming in, and they want to gauge or like kind of just rob those people and be like, hey, we have FNAF. You're here for FNAF. Look at FNAF. And it's like, as a dedicated DBD player, one of my most controversial videos ever, and probably my most controversial opinion for the wider Dead by Daylight sphere is that I hate licenses for this game. They're really good for getting new players and getting recurring players to come back when we get another license that they really like. But for someone who's already playing, I don't need to come back to the game. I'm already here. I want to see what DBD can come up with. I want to see like them fix things, and the new player experience is so bad, I'd rather they fix that first and then start doing the license shit. But you know, very minor complaint about like just no interesting lobby. I already missed the event ones from previous years because I thought they looked interesting. The next one is that the servers are actual dog shit right now. I don't know if anyone has how much people have played, but for the past like year and a half, you just randomly get sent to UK if you're on like EST. Like I've played on Oceanic servers when I'm from EST, like the East Coast of the US, and every single other person in that lobby is also from the East Coast of the US. I've been across the entire globe at this point, not just from VPNers coming to my lobby or me going to theirs because of random luck, but like just entire lobbies of people just shifting servers. Is it because of the long queue times, or is it because the servers are just broken? I have no idea. But it's just, that's really, really annoying when you wait in the all-killer lobby for 5 minutes, and then suddenly, oh, you're in Frankfurt, actually, enjoy 150 ping. It's awful when you're playing like a dash killer, because then you get stutters, or a range killer, because then you just, hitboxes are so different, it's agitating. Which goes into the longer queue time spiel I have. For Survivor, the queue times are basically instant, all day, every day, but since Ghoul's release, killer queue times have been like 5 minutes. And as a killer player from Dead by Daylight's own stat website, I am about like it's like 18,000 killer matches played to like 9,000 survivor matches. I mostly play killer. And it's really annoying that I have to sit through 5-minute queue times. And keep in mind, every single time there is a split queue with a modifier, those queue times are always long. And then the anniversary gets a killer-only paragraph of one of probably the most sought-after license we've ever had. Those queue times don't shorten. It's incredibly agitating to play killer right now, because if you wait 5 minutes in a lobby and then you get in, you either immediately get a map you don't like. Like if you play a hitbox killer, you understand my hate for Toba Landing. I hate Toba Landing. But you load in, sometimes you get Toba if you're playing Billy, sometimes the server is just bad, sometimes you just get a bad match where you don't do that well, and then you have to go sit in lobby for 10 more minutes waiting for the next match and just sit on the fact that you got absolutely hamstered on for like 10 minutes, and it feels awful. And part of that reason is because we keep splitting the player base between 2 separate queues. I don't like split queue. A lot of people, like, I even complained about this when FNAF first came out. We had the map specific queue or whatever. I don't even like that idea. I rather they just boost the map to like 70% chance or whatever. I'm really exhausted of the split queue because it splits the player base, especially when a bunch of new people come in. They go to the FNAF map, but then since the killer queues are so long, MMR does not exist, so then they randomly get a player that's at like my skill level of like 8k hours, and it's like, they shouldn't even be facing me. They're not good enough. They haven't played enough. They don't even know what sprint burst is. But you're forced to encounter that if you're new because the killer queue times are so long. For those that don't know, the longer you sit in queue, the wider your MMR spreads out, which means you're more likely to get bad or even much better players than you. Now that being said, the split queue is kind of good because the event mode is really boring. I know survivors have their own complaints. For instance, the remote hook used to be instant in the previous years. It isn't this year, but that was a major complaint from last time, is that you could split hook. In previous years, they also had this get bloodlust and then make the survivor you're chasing exposed. They got rid of that for good reason. That was really boring. But the main complaint this year, from actually both sides, ironically enough, is that on the killer side, you have the remote pallet break, which is you literally just go by a pallet, you press Q, it automatically breaks in like a second and a half or 2 seconds, whatever. From the killer side, it really advocates for you to play as boring as possible. Because if the survivor runs up the pallet, they can't vault it when it's being broken. So if they're at a god pallet, you zone them, you break it last second before they can vault. Oh, look at that, they go down. And if they're in a dead zone, they just die. Like, they can't do anything. And from Survivor, it's, oh, they remote pallet, I just get hit here or I just go down. That's really boring. I don't feel like I got outplayed. It's just the event. And then for Killer, it's like, I don't feel like I outplayed them. I just got a free hit. That's kind of boring. But like, I'm incentivized to do this anyway, so whatever. It's just, it doesn't make for an interesting dynamic of actually playing the event. But the biggest complaint that I think everyone can rally behind, which if you watch this late, maybe you already clicked off and went to the comment section and say, oh, you're a dedicated player. I can't believe you would say this. You gotta get some more, you gotta understand from like newer POV or whatever. Whatever. But from previous years, the level 50 blood webs, and you can see this if you have a level 50 blood web, not even P100 where you're guaranteed a level 50 blood web. It's right before you get that little prestige tax of 20k BP. Right before that, you have a level 50 blood web. You'll notice that in every single one of those, if you're a killer or survivor, you have one cake spawn. In previous years, there were 3. And the devs have come out and stated, not just once, not just twice, but 3 times, because people keep bothering them about it, saying that like, hey, I think the cakes are bugged. They have said that this is an intentional change. They have decided that this year, when they've had the most new players ever, where matters more for the casual player to get as many cakes as they can because they can't play as much, the devs have decided to lower the amount of cakes that spawn in blood webs. Now keep in mind, this is the only event all year that you can use the offering you get throughout the entire next year. I still have cobblers on my Huntress because I grinded them out so hard. Now for me, as a dedicated player, I'm still gonna get like 1,000 on Aurella. That doesn't change. I already have like 400, 500 at time of the recording, and I would have like 1,000 or like 1,500 at this point if they weren't lowered spawn rates. But like, I'm still going to get enough that it will last me at least like 8 months because I don't play Survivor that much. And I still have like 3,000, like 3,500 cobblers from last year on Huntress, so I'm still fine on her. I don't even have to worry about it. But for the casual player, who maybe can only play like 3 hours a week, you're getting like 20. You get about like 30, 40 per prestige on Survivor. It's like 40, 50 if you auto spend. The auto spending is proven to be better for getting cakes, by the way, by like other people going through and testing it. I really want to ask Behavior why. Like, what decision were they sitting at that coffee table and going, yeah, I think we should lower the amount of cakes that our players get this year? Is it because of the auto spend? Because then we can get them too fast and too easily or something? Because I can't foresee anything else. It only punishes the player base for like playing your video game by not letting them get stuff. And this is coming from someone who wants blood points to be a lot easier to get too. So not only does this go against my entire ideal, because my end goal for this game is to P100 every character. And with using cake stacking, keep that in mind, while using max cake stacking, playing Survivor in a 4-stack, and the killer bringing one every single game, it still takes about 20,000 hours straight of playing this game. Not counting the difference in queue times to P100 every character. And I did that math 2 years ago. We're probably around 30,000 now for hours to P100 every character. And I've been wanting for a while, I think it's my most viewed video ever on this channel, is I want Devotion to give bonus BP, where each level Devotion gives 10% bonus blood points and raises your BP cap by 1 million. I think that'd be nice. So I'm kind of hoping in a weird way that since they're lowering the cake spawns, it leads to this Devotion change getting added, but I can't understand why you can't have both. Because if you're at a high Devotion level, then you're a dedicated player who plays a lot, so then you don't need the cakes in the first place. So this really only hampers the casual players. And I fail to see the logic behind it. I want us as a DBD community to hound Behavior about it for the next year. Like, until the next anniversary, I want us to bring it up every single Q&A, every single, like, Twitter post or whatever. Just ask, hey, why did you lower your cake spawn? Just every single time. Because I want us to make sure they never do it again, and the only way we're gonna make sure they never do it again is by harassing them. And I wish it wasn't that way, but that's kind of how Behavior is. Yeah, I don't know, this is a rant video. I don't really remember how to end these. I just kind of rant out. I do want to say though, the game is still fun. I still really enjoy playing DBD. Springtrap is phenomenal, even though he's like B tier at best, which is fine. So not every killer needs to be A or S tier, but he's like B tier at best, and then they nerfed his good add-ons for some reason, which was weird. I don't know why they decided to do that, but like, he's fun. I still love Huntress, even though she's been power crap for the past like 2 years. I still love her. I'm P100ing Aurella. I might P100 Hinato. The casual collection has good skins. Like, the game's still good. I still love this game. I guess the last thing I'll mention, for those that maybe don't keep up with everything, because it's not officially revealed yet, so this kind of is leaky, but not really. Chaos Shuffle. We are getting, for all of July, there's split queues, by the way, because the moment anniversary ends, we're going straight into Chaos Shuffle, baby. We're getting Chaos Shuffle again. But the difference is that this Chaos Shuffle is going to have Unbreakable Tenacity base kit. If you guys think killer queues were long before, just wait until this split queue, because you're gonna see if you try playing 1v4 killer how long they're gonna be, because all the survivors probably want free buffs who want it, and no killer wants to queue against that, because you literally, if a survivor goes down in a pallet, you just fucking lose. But yeah. Have a good day. I'm probably gonna try quickly editing this before I have to go into work today, and yeah, thumbs up.